Yeah, I probably won't get to post this. I got angry and said something stupid, and they won't let me post any more comments. I mean, this is how. Do you like my new T-shirt? It says "Don't trust a hippie," but it's got Charles Manson on it, so it's like you have to understand that a lot of things I say are just ironic. I mean, I never walk around with Adolf Hitler, maybe Joseph, not even Joseph Stalin, because a lot of people hate him. But Charles Manson was an all-American mass murderer, right? And he never actually killed it. Well, I guess did Hitler actually never kill anybody but himself and maybe his dog? And his cut was his wife, his cousin, or he was pretty fucked up, Hitler. I mean, would I do it if I could get away with it? I didn't like Hitler. I don't like Hamas. I'm not really a hater. I just get angry. What I hate is censorship. What I hate is the fact that when I really feel angry, I get censored. I get mad at things people say and want them censored. So I am, yes, I am. I am a total hypocrite. Yes, I am. I will admit that. But it's getting chilling. You cannot criticize Israel. You can't say anything against them anymore. You can't say that, for example, that Zionism is racism, or that if you're anti-Zionist, you're a racist. That's chilling because, of course, it's not true. It's like saying, well, if you're against the Nazis, you're against the German people and you're racist. It's that bad. That's how much of a stranglehold certain interest group. Like I'll give you an example: the NRA. There should be stricter gun laws, but there are certain lobbies that represent a small minority of the American population, and they're undemocratic with money or with pressure, with threats, dirty, underhanded tactics. They thwart the democratic majority. Now, the Constitution says that people have a right to free speech, even to advocate for violence on a theoretical basis, as long as it's not imminent. So even if you feel that someone who says Zionism is racism, which it is, it absolutely is. There's no even questioning that. If you're a Jew in Israel, it's a Jewish state, and if you're not, you're a second-class citizen. And there's no freedom. You can't fly a Palestinian flag, even if you're Palestinian in Israel. It's truly a fascist state, and it's committing genocide. And does Israel have a right to exist? It does exist. That's a stupid question. I'll give you my answer. No, Israel doesn't have a right to exist. And neither does France. And neither does the United States. No nation on earth has the right to exist. There's no such thing as a right, okay, for the first place. People say it, but look, you know who needed rights? And I am quoting a George Carlin skit, so you have no rights. Go onto YouTube and put in the search engine, you have no rights. I don't know why I'm even bothering with this. They probably won't let me post it, or at least not for 23 hours. This is an experiment. Maybe they will. Maybe I can post it someplace else. I don't think I want to post it on Facebook, though. Or maybe I will. Maybe I will post this on Facebook. Because I'm angry. I'm really angry. I just got banned on YouTube for saying, yes, that I really hated what was going on in the world right now, and it just made me angry. That's not exactly what I said. I probably said something 23. At least they didn't give me a permanent ban. Our free speech rights are being threatened, and incitement is not a reason to censor people. People say things that encourage violence. I mean, look at Trump. People have died because of the things he said, and he's not silenced. Now this one special group that's got that actually has a lot of power. I mean, look at all the Palestinians that are getting killed. Why are some all people are equal, but some people are more equal than others? I think that's what really is getting me. It's like nobody has a right to criticize Israel anymore, and we should. Is whether you think Israel has a right. I don't think any nation has a right to exist, but Israel does, and Israel has a big army, and that you have to admire. They've got a big army. They've got a lot of technology. They're a prosperous nation. They did a lot of good for themselves, but it's like Mexico's an independent country. I think the relationship between the Palestinians and the Mexicans is very similar. Now you can say Americans are bad, and we're threatening to invade Mexico, but we leave them alone. I mean, we've already taken a whole bunch of their land with the Mexican-American War, Texas, California. We took that, and then it's basically settled. Alexa, which is bigger, Mexico or Texas?
Mexico is bigger than Texas. With an area of 1,972,550 square kilometers, Mexico is 2.9 times larger than Texas, which has an area of 696,241 square kilometers.
Alexa, what's the population of Mexico?
The population of Mexico in 2023 is 128 million people.
All right, you can make a similar, although ironically, originally Jewish people were Semitic. So to say that Palestinians are anti-Semitic is actually another aggravating thing, because Palestinians are actually Semitic. A lot of Jews aren't. Ashkenazi Jews, I'm not sure if they've got any Semitic blood in them left, or it's diffuse. The Sephardic Jews and the Harumi, or there's a Zidi, there's another kind of Jewish ethnic group. They're more Semitic, but many Russian Jews in Israel, ethnically at least, have no claim to the land. There are a lot of rabbis like Rabbi Jacob Shapiro and Harudi, Naburi Katu, those dudes, who say that Judaism is a religion, the state of Israel is a heresy because according to the Torah, God forbids the Jewish people to have a state because according to the Torah, the Jewish people were kicked out of Israel for their inequities and their rebellion against God's laws, and God is punishing them. Now, Christian Zionists, how's my science fiction story? Oh, that was great. The guy decided to hide as a Jewish grandmother, and when he got kidnapped by Hamas, and when he got exchanged in hostage exchange and picked up by the IDF, they found out that he was in drag, and then eventually that Men in Black sort of agency that's in charge of aliens is going to find out he's an alien. So it's going to be less political. It's just going to be, this is what the monkeys do, and it's basically true. It's nothing unique to the Jews or the Palestinians. It's in Bosnia. It's in Northern Ireland. It's the Serbians and the Croatians. It's Rwanda. It's like any place that you can point to on the globe. There are people, or my people. I'm a mongrel. This is why I think I've always desperately wanted to be a member of some group, and I can't because I'm just a mongrel. German, French, Dutch. The Germans used to call us Mischlings, And so I just hate everybody. I hate Germans. Do I hate Jews? I don't. I didn't before. I really didn't. But this, I think it's my own fault because I'm an emotional person and I'm not that bright. And I was just watching day after day them pulling those poor little Palestinian kids out of the rubble. I mean, when the Hamas attacked, and this is it. I have questions. I'm not saying this is true, but I heard this guy named Scott Ritter say that 80% of the deaths on the Israeli side, casualties, were actually the IDF making collateral damage, tanks and Apache helicopters in a gunfight trying to kill the Hamas, and a lot of the people got in the people at the kibbutzes, which are left wing, they just got slaughtered in the crossfire. Now, I'm not saying that's true, but I'm saying that I heard that. And some guy named Scott Ritter, who was he was involved in arms inspection. He's an ex-Marine. Yeah, he was also convicted of having sex with an underage girl. So it's like, I'm sure that hurts his credit. That's an ad hominem argument, but it's like, I really, really, really don't want to listen. They've got him all over the internet. But it's like, do I really want to listen to a child molester? I mean, because that's 15's under. That's not right. That's not right. It's like liking a Roman Polanski movie, which I guess he hid from the. Was he in a concentration camp or did he hide? I don't know, but he was Polish and he was Jewish and I guess he's a victim of the Holocaust on some level. He survived somehow, only to rape 13-year-old girls. So it's like liking Roman Polanski is a very talented guy, or Woody Allen, the whole thing with the 17-year-old girl, and which was creepy enough. He's still with her. But the thing about Woody Allen is, I don't think he molested the kid. I think that was Mia Farrow just being, because I've done research. I watched a bunch of videos, and it just seems that she kind of brainwashed those kids. Because one minute she was saying what a wonderful father he was, and the next minute he was a child rapist. So, yeah, and they never convicted him. They never even brought him to trial because there just wasn't enough evidence against him. I mean, running off with a 17-year-old Korean chick, that was creepy enough. But I think he can be forgiven. He's still with her. And Mia Farrow, I loved Mia Farrow, but I think she was just being spiteful. Now, I don't think I'm going to be able to post this on YouTube. I'm going to have to be careful what I say, because I used to be able to say just about anything on Google, on YouTube, but you can't anymore. And I think I like to press the limits. Whatever sick thoughts going through my mind at the time. Should I apologize? My apologies don't make any difference. Most apologies, I think, are just a waste of time, because a lot of people, if I were to say I'm genuinely sorry that I said these things, I regret that they might have blowback and people might come looking for me. But did I mean them? I kind of did. I kind of did and I kind of didn't. When I get angry, I'm kind of like my mom was. When I get really angry, because she was bipolar, when she got angry, 99% of the time she was a very nice, sweet woman. It was that, well, it wasn't 1%. It was like that 5% when she lost her fucking mind. And I have that in my brain too. 95% of the time, I'm Dr. Jekyll. I'm the nice guy. And then the other 5% I'm Mr. Hyde. I lose it, and my brain like explodes. There's like an electromagnetic storm in here, and I'm ready to cut people. I mean, I slept with an automatic weapon under my bed for God. It's amazing. I didn't kill anybody. And the reason I bought it was I was being threatened by Nazis. Nazis were threatening me on Haight Street because I was trying to defend the anarchist bookstore. But the thing about weapon, this is the thing I'm going to repeat, and I want to emphasize if I can put this up, and hopefully I can. Battle not with monsters lest you become a monster. When you stare into the abyss stares back at you. And that's true of all sides. It really, really is. There's a quote in Michael Collins that I find, that at first I didn't think it was sincere, but I think it's true. He says, the thing that I really hate about the British is their unspeakable cruelty has made me hate them. I don't want to be a hateful person. I don't like being a hateful person. I've spent my whole life trying not to be a hateful person. But being, this is what Michael Collins says, being in this situation, being so persecuted and oppressed and fighting and being called a terrorist by the British has made me hate them. And what I really hate the British for is making me hate them. Is by doing things that were so despicable that they made me hate them. And I'm in a situation like that too. I don't want to hate anybody. I shouldn't hate anybody. Nobody deserves to be hated or discriminated. But sometimes people do things. Sometimes people do things that makes them deserving of hate. Whether anybody should be hated or not. I mean, I used to have a friend. His mom was Catholic, and he was Catholic, and he said to me, I don't know much about the Catholic religion, because I was saying I hate this and I hate that, and he said, you should never hate anyone for any reason. And I said, well, don't you hate bad people? He says, no, you pray for them. What did they teach me? I guess they were teaching me that in Sunday school, but the message I got in Sunday school was it was okay to hate bad people. Is actually, although that's not true. Jesus, you're supposed to love your enemies. But I kind of got the feeling, that it was okay to, I don't know where I got it, but it was okay to hate bad people. But evidently it's not. It really isn't. It's human. It's very human to hate people, but it's ungodly, and it's not just un-Catholic. It's not Christian. It's not in any. But evidently, that was something at the time the Catholic Church was pushing. Well, they were Catholics, and that's what they were nice to me. They even went to my church. They were very liberal Catholics, I think, and they just stopped me from saying I hate Nazis or I hate German, even though I was German. First of all, they probably thought it was self-hatred. And I didn't even know, and hatred was. You shouldn't hate anybody. Or maybe they were Polish though, so maybe they would. I mean, everybody hates the Germans, although I'm sure they're perfectly nice. When I was in Germany, I couldn't wait to get out. The Germans are creepy. They're rude. They're really arrogant in a really annoying way. I mean, the French are arrogant about their culture, but it's like some society, their arrogance is endearing, like the French. They're very snotty. They're very rude. They're very arrogant. They're very self-absorbed. They're very proud of their culture. They don't really strike me as racist or like we're superior and we're going to kill the whole world. It's like, we're superior. Leave us the fuck alone. We're the French. We were the best. Just don't just don't bother us or mess with our culture. It's kind of like Ireland. Ireland wants Ireland. It's a little tiny island, and they want you off their island. How is that terrible? They don't want the whole world. The Germans wanted the whole world, which was kind of scary. Or the Dutch. I guess the Dutch are very smug. I mean, they try to, we saved the Jews, but they did apartheid. They did things too. Look at what's going on in the Netherlands now. Oh, that guy Geert Wilders, he's very pro-Israel. He was there once and he said, these are the best people in the world. He absolutely, he's a good example. He hates Muslims. He just hates them. He wants to shut down their Muslim schools. He wants to that's the Dutch. The Dutch are kind of like pro-Israel. They like the Canadians too. And they made the mistake of letting these people in the country, and now they're sick of it because the Muslims don't like gay marriage. I don't know. It's complicated and it's stupid why people hate people. The bottom line is, remember Charles Manson. It's not right to hate anybody. And I guess, wasn't that who Charlie Manson was? Never trust a hippie. He was just pure hate. It's wrong to hate. And I'm just going to say that I'm sorry that I said hateful things. I was angry. It's a thing what's wrong with my mother's brain. She would be very nice and sweet, and then she'd just lose it, and she'd become a complete and total monster. And that's what happens to me. I get angry and I become a monster. And you know what? I should apologize. I'm going to apologize. I say a lot of things I shouldn't say. I'm deeply sorry. Where's my medication? I took my medication today, so that's probably why I'm settling down. But they'll probably take down my channel. I mean, I shouldn't do that. I really shouldn't. Someone's going to find out who I am and come after me. Maybe I was just thinking, is that why you're doing this, Bill? Do you actually want to make somebody so angry, either the gun people? I was going after Nazis. I was going into their websites and telling them that they were inbred and that Nazis, pretending to be a Jew and saying, the reason you hate us because you know we're smarter than you. I mean, just antagonizing them and telling them what pathetic losers I thought they were. And now that this thing's going on, without any rationality, I've switched gears and I'm just like being abusive to another group. I might have a death wish. That might be it. I think I push these envelopes and say these things because I'm actually so tired with life and so tired of being sick and not being able to walk and not having any. Is it my fault? Maybe I just gave up on life. I'm not a very nice person and I'm not very bright and I don't know why I do this. And I think I post these to get attention and nobody pays any attention to me. I'm thinking maybe if I say something really stupid and really trollish, someone will pay attention to me. But it's taking a big risk because I think most people realize that you're just a troll. Fuck you. I know you don't mean any of the things you say. You're just trying to get attention. You're an old man acting like a small teenage boy. And I go, well, that's not far off. I'm combing my beard. I'm buying a beard shaver for Christmas for myself. So because everybody's like my beard it's patchy too. It's low testosterone. I know that. It's like I never really had a lot of hair, but now it's getting like a wispy kung fu beard. Like Asians have these little splotchy beards. People used to ask me, "Are you part Asian? You look kind of, I don't know what I am. I could be part Asian. Who knows? Who cares? According to 23andMe, I'm 96% Northern European, or is it 100%? No, there's a little bit that's not, but it's like really little. It's like really little. It's like 96.5. So if you're going by that one drop rule, I belong in a concentration camp. But otherwise, but it's so stupid. We're just human beings. Why do we do this? I think that's what makes it when Alexa, play Two Tribes.
Two Tribes by Frankie Goes to Hollywood on Amazon Music.
Alexa, stop. If I conclude anymore, I'll get a copyright violation. But if you know that song, that's basically why I'm angry. It's like we never learn. It's like all over the world. We're just busy destroying each other. And my family did come not from the Middle East. Well, who knows? But it's the closest we can trace them back 200 years was from a place called Alsace-Lorraine. And if you Google that, like I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that, but Google that area and what makes it significant. We were vintners. We made wine. We spoke German. Again, we spoke German, so that's another little hint. It's French. It's French territory now, but if you look at people in my family, some of them don't look too Aryan. They look. They definitely do not look too Aryan. Where's my grandfather here? You're not going to get to see it, but I'm just taking a look. Yeah, he looks French. He's got a very big nose and he's got dark curly hair. So I think that makes me think that I've got a right to say things that I shouldn't say. It's like self-hatred. It's like black people using the N-word, or white people virtue signaling, thinking that it makes them really cool when they say really disparaging things about white people. All right, let's post this. Let's see if we can get it up. If we can't, maybe I'll make a longer one. But I think I really do need to apologize and make it clear that the only reason I put these things up is because I get angry and say stupid things. And also, I think part of me, one of it, it's like subconsciously, I have a death wish. I want someone to come after me and kill me, put me out of my misery. I mean, is that what's going on in my mind? Sometimes I wonder if there's some like deep Freudian thing. It's like a death wish. I'm not saying that that's true, but some people have pointed that out to me. That Bill, maybe you just want someone to come after you and put a bullet in your head. Maybe that's why you say these things and do these things. You really, really, really just want it all to end, and that's why you go. It's like you're poking a bull. I mean, Nazis are very violent people, and they're very heavily armed. The gun lobby, of course they've got guns. They don't have to be brave or anything. All I have to do is pull the trigger. The Jewish lobby is very powerful, and although most Jews aren't religious and they're very intellectual and they're not prone towards violence, um, like other ethnic groups that are mostly good, they have a criminal element and they have the Mossad. And if you do seem dangerous, there is no doubt that they do take their. I mean, look at what was it, Operation Hammer of God or Operation Wrath of God? I mean, obviously, I've never killed anybody. Well, have you ever killed a Jewish? Not because they were. That was kind of an accident, and we definitely knew that he was fucking with kids. But that was not a hate crime because I mean, unless it's a hate crime to hate pedophiles. I mean, is that one group you're allowed to hate? Yeah, he was a child molester, and it was kind of an accident. We just wanted to beat him to a pulp. And you can't find any proof that I had anything to do with it. I just kind of watched. It was the trunk of my car we used to take the body to dump it in San Francisco. That obviously none of this is true. This is just fantasy. But I think most of my life is fantasy. But I have known some violent people, and we did do violent things. We never killed anybody. We never did anything racist. We never targeted anything because of their race or their creed. It was always because of something that they'd done to us or they were doing to somebody that we felt was vulnerable. And we weren't good. We weren't just. I mean, even bad people have codes. Like child molesters don't last long in prisons, and I don't think either do rapists. And I mean, even the most vile of people have some sort of, that's it. We're not tolerating this. This is just too much. And that was kind of what happened to this guy. He was just, we caught him fiddling with the kid, and he had blonde hair and blue eyes, so see, it didn't matter now that I think about it. He was just a scumbag. And there was something definitely wrong with him. Just something really wrong with him. But if you appear to be a danger, there are certain groups that you shouldn't mess with. I like Italians, I do. And I think one time I called somebody a mafia dago because I was mad at them. And nothing bad happened to me, but somebody said, maybe that's not the smartest thing to do. I said, but I like Italians. You're not Italian, you're being disrespectful, and that's one ethnic group that just doesn't put up, I mean, not to be stereotypical, that doesn't put up with shit. Something bad, I think he was Italian. He says, something bad's going to happen to you, fuckface. So don't do that. That's bad. That is really, really bad. And so I don't, and I don't want to. There's certain ethnic groups that I kind of like, and some that I don't. And some that I'm part of that I don't like. I guess that's self-hatred. But I think I should apologize. Oh, no, what's happening with the science fiction story? Yeah, that's it. He was working for a travel agency. If you ever seen Doctor Who, it's like an episode of Delta and the Bannermen. And what was another episode that it was like? Oh, I'm stealing ideas, but you know what they say? Good artists borrow, great artists steal, and I'm not an artist, but I'm a thief. What was that other one? There was another Doctor Who episode that I was watching, and I just said, well, you know what? You stole this too. You stole this. This is stealing. Time in the Ronnie? or maybe it's dragon fire. He gets stuck on these space stations with people that are just stuck. I gotta quit stealing ideas from Doctor Who or from My Favorite Martian or K-Pax. It's not a good story. It'll never be published. But anyways, he's going on vacation. Instead of getting sent to Vegas, his boss is mad because he filed a complaint with the labor bureau or his union or something, and which violated his contract. And to get back at him, instead of sending him to Las Vegas, he gets dropped into Gaza, dressed as a Jewish tourist. He thinks, "Oh boy, how am I going to save myself?" So he goes through his luggage. He finds a wig. He kind of hunches over because he's an alien. He can kind of like morph himself a little, and all of a sudden he looks very much like a Jewish grandmother. Of course, Hamas finds him, thinks he's an escaped Jew, and trades him to the IDF. The IDF finds him, finds out that he's not an old Jewish grandmother, and that he's might be male, or he's actually an alien. And then the Americans are called in because, well, I think he's an American. He's got an American passport, American ID, which are fake because he was going to Vegas. And then they find out, the Men in Black people, who's the national security? Who does that in real life? Would that be the CIA? There must be a national security agency that must deal with alien threats. So they find out that this Jewish grandmother was really an alien who accidentally got sent to Gaza by his angry boss instead of going to Vegas. And he either ends up on the beach in Haifa, or they actually do send him to Vegas. And you never know how he's going to get back. But maybe that's a good idea. Eventually he says, "Look, if you don't experiment on me, I'm just telling you, this is not the product of any. I'm not a political. I'd like to claim a political asylum or whatever, another alien demanding political asylum, so we could make it political in that sense, coming to the United States. I just had a dispute with my boss, and he played a dirty trick on me. And you don't know whether they have ways of getting him back or not. But maybe instead of ending up on the beach in Haifa, that he might be playing, hanging around with showgirls and gambling in Vegas because he has something they want, like DNA or some sort of. Although he's not a very high up guy, he's just a travel agent, for God's sakes. Maybe he knows how to make maybe he knows something about AI or something. I don't know. Maybe we'll have that. We'll make it a comedy and make it an ironic thing about political. I'd love to ask for political asylum, but this is just because my boss was mad at me for filing a labor complaint. And isn't that life the way it is? All right, now we're going to see if this can be posted. They've probably banned me.